welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to tell you guys everything you need to know about being an HR assistant slash associate. So this is all based off of my own experience. I don't know about everybody else's experience, but this is all from all this knowledge is from my work experience. So I was an HR assistant between 2016 and 2018, I believe, and I'm just going to tell you guys everything I had in order to qualify for this job and all the duties that I did, and see if this is something you're interested in. So the first thing regarding an HR assistant or an associate, I believe that they are very similar positions, mostly because my friend who was an HR associate for a company literally had the same job experience and duties as me. So I'm kind of just taking her word for it, and I believe that these are pretty much the same positions. But you do have to keep in mind that every company and every role that they post is very different from other companies. An HR assistant might be kind of like an admin position for some companies, and for others it might not be as intense as an admin position. Like my company, since I was a HR administrator, I found the job very different from an HR assistant position. So anyway, let's go with qualifications. So to qualify to be an HR assistant, I don't think there's a lot that needs to be needed for my experience, because I did have office assistant experience and I was a recruiter before I got the HR assistant position. I guess that really helped me get into the door, but I don't think you need like any experience, because when I was in college and I didn't have any work experience except for being like an office assistant part-time, I was able to get an offer for an internship as an HR assistant. So I think all you really need to be or do is be in college for an HR assistant position, or have some type of small amount of business experience. At least that's what helped me out and a friend of mine. So when it comes to pay, it honestly really depends on the company and also the state you live in. Some states will pay lower than most. I think with my company today, they kind of pay between $15 to $18 an hour for an HR assistant position, which is pretty nice. I live in Jersey. I don't know where all of you guys live, but that's how much it costs, and it also includes benefits and bonuses and all of the packages. But yeah, so some of the HR assistant slash associate duties would probably be very similar to any type of business administration or any type of office receptionist desk job. So sometimes you don't really need HR experience to be an HR assistant. You kind of just need like a office experience, or just anything that shows that you know how to handle paperwork. So a lot of times this requires like telephone calling, making appointments, ordering food for your manager. Yeah, that's a thing. Filing, a lot of data entry. I know when I was an HR assistant, I didn't hire people, that was the recruiter's job, but there were times where I had to enter all the new hires' information, have all their paperwork done, scan their driver licenses and social security cards into the computer system, have them drug tested, collect all of that information and put it in the system, the HRIS system and the payroll system, so the payroll is notified. So we did like a lot of that, a lot of data entry stuff. So if you guys are just looking for a job in the HR field community, that is something very entry level and basic. It's something to get you through the door and you don't have any experience. I highly recommend an HR assistant or associate position, even an HR coordinator, but I do think that is a bit more, it is like entry level, but I think there's more involved in there, because you do, well, at least I was in charge of a lot of event planning, coordinating for the HR department, which kind of was a lot of fun, but also very like hectic, and I think it kept me on my toes quite a bit. But if you want something very entry level and basic, an HR assistant position is probably for you, especially if you want to know or find out if an HR role or degree is something you'd be interested in going for. So if you could find like a entry-level part-time HR assistant position or internship, just check out to see if this is something you'd like. I highly recommend doing that because that is something I ended up doing in college. I took a payroll internship and I had an HR assistant internship. Sadly, the HR assistant internship fell through because it was just costly for me to drive there, while the payroll internship was right across the street from my dorm. So, and it kind of sucked because the payroll one didn't pay anything while the HR assistant one did, but it did cost quite a bit for me to drive there. So that kind of sucked. But someone who didn't have any experience in the HR field or anything did get this offer. So if you guys have no experience whatsoever in office work or HR or anything, but you want to get into HR and see if this is for you, I highly recommend applying for an HR assistant or an associate position at a company to see if HR is for you. I hope this video was helpful. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for some more HR content, and I'll see you guys in my next one.